Whew. All right. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Shrine Talk episode 36. And whoops, I forgot to change the damn title on the back. Baldur's Gate 3 and its success. There we go. Hello everyone, and of course, like I said earlier, we are going to talk about Baldur's Gate 3 today, and of course, my guest for today is none other than Mira Octavia.
Hello.
So of course, to the Foxtrots who don't know her, and of course for people who haven't met her yet, Mira, kindly introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Mira. I'm a Australian bunny VTuber who's been playing Baldur's Gate 3 basically non-stop since it came out.
What a freaking mood. Yes. Fellow Baldur's Gate 3 enjoyer. So, just a quick rundown. Today we are going to discuss about, obviously, Baldur's Gate 3 and its success, and why it's actually worth talking about its success over other games that have been very successful. It's one of those games nowadays that, yep, they are successful, but in a very special way, and we are going to discuss why and what makes it so special. And of course, as people who have been playing Baldur's Gate 3 non-stop, we are going to try and convince those who haven't gotten into Baldur's Gate 3 to get into Baldur's Gate 3. Y'all don't know what you're missing. Or if you do, it's only a fraction, because we're going to talk about like why Mir and I and so many others have been playing this damn game non-stop. And we will of course give you our honest opinions, because no game is perfect, so you might want to know what we think about the game, like its ups and downs, etc. So here we go. Now for our first question we gotta ask. Now again, Baldur's Gate 3 is not your typical kind of RPG, because it is quite literally based off of the 5e format of Dungeons and Dragons. So most people call Baldur's Gate, and by extension Divinity, basically D&D simulators. Have you played D&D before, Mira?
You're gonna make me friggin' look old in front of everyone, but I've been playing D&D for like over 10 years. So yeah, I think I've played some D&D.
10 years, but have you finished? Well, I hope you have. Have you finished any campaigns?
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm an outlier. I would say like 80% of the campaigns that my like friend group has started, we've finished them all.
Damn, that's more
Which
than
is
most
like,
people can say.
yeah, which is like most people will start a game, they'll play for a bit, and then like people just won't commit to it. But no, I guess we're all just like insane, and we've played campaigns that have gone for like 4 years. Like it's crazy.
That dedicated, I guess. It's like, it's not like, yeah, how many campaigns have you played? Played? No, playing. Not played, playing. What?
Yeah.
No. Well, some people from the outside will be like, wait, how can you start so many campaigns at once but not finish? Well, here's the thing. It really does depend on a lot of factors, but generally, setting up a D&D session can be a lot more complicated than your usual hangout. I mean, me and Mira can probably invite our friends for like, lunch out, a movie outing or something, go to a convention very easily. But for a D&D campaign, that takes time and energy.
Yeah,
A
you
lot
kind
of
have
time and
to, like,
energy.
you need to like have a certain level of commitment to it, because unless it's like if you start the campaign and your DM sits you down and goes, hey guys, this is gonna be like a serious thing and it's gonna go to level 14, that's like year or two of commitment of time, right? And
Yes.
so if you're gonna be like flaky about it, you're gonna just make people upset. So it's also like, one, your DM has to tell you like, hey, this is my expectation.
Yep,
You can
setting
decide if you're
expectations
in
very
or not.
important.
And then if you're gonna commit to it as the player, like it's like, okay, like just don't flake out, I guess, unless life happens, that obviously. But yeah.
And yeah, like as you said, setting expectations is very, very important because that's actually one of the most common things that kills campaigns. It's not like the length or the time commitment, but if you set the wrong expectations, it will cause a lot of clashing between the players, and that's just not good. Like,
Yeah,
you
no.
have to know what kind of players you are inviting to your session. Are they serious? Are they more creative or flexible, or they are very casual and they just want to have fun? It's very, very important as a DM to know what kind of players you have on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, with
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3, setting up is a lot easier because you do not need an actual table, you don't need a board, you don't need a complex, like, diorama or setup to really show what kind of scene you are in because you are playing in the scene in Baldur's Gate 3. Because, I mean, could you imagine if you're very casual and all you have are your character sheets and you're like, you see a drow archer 100 meters away from you and you're like, how far is that? Like, I need to visualize that.
Yeah.
It's
I,
very complicated.
I mean, honestly, like, speaking on that, after like COVID and everything, and nobody could see each other anymore, a lot of my games like moved to like virtual tabletop,
Yes, virtual
and
tabletops, yes.
and now it's like my preferred way to play because it's like, sure, I love getting people at my house, but then it comes with like the addition of like stress of like, oh, I have to get to this person's house and then I have to feed all these people and then I have to make sure they leave like when I don't want them in my house anymore. Whereas if you just set up on like VTT, it's like, oh, jump on Discord, we'll chill out and then you can go. And then it's like, oh, I'm gonna just set up my map, everything's like beautiful and nice. It's like if it was real life, it's a lot more like work, which can be rewarding in its own way,
Mm,
obviously. But it's like just to sort of like set up a regular game, it's like so much easier on VTT.
it's way less hassle too. Like, it's a lot less of a hassle.
Yeah.
Okay, me personally though, I have played maybe one campaign. I am a D&D baby. I have played, not playing, played one D&D campaign. So I can say that my first campaign, I did finish it. And luckily this
Hey.
was before COVID. Because it was during a Christmas sleepover with my friends. And just a quick TLDR, Christmas in the Philippines is arguably our largest holiday. I mean, it's a joke at this point, but we start celebrating Christmas on September, and I am not joking.
What? What?
Yes, if you go to the Philippines in September, you will hear Christmas songs and see Christmas decorations as early as September. I
I
am
mean, we
not
have.
joking.
I mean, we have that too. Like, as soon as Halloween is over, the Christmas decorations go up in Australia.
Oh yeah, but that's like October, November. We start no, we start as early as September. And we even have Christmas sales going up as early as September.
That's crazy. All right.
But yes, before anyone asks, so do you guys celebrate Halloween? Of course. And then we tear that shit down the next morning for Christmas decorations. Literally.
God.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So now that we have established that I am a D&D baby and Mira is a D&D veteran at this point, have you played previous Larian Studios games? So Divinity, and
Yes.
you have. So would
Yeah,
you
I
like
played.
to share your background? Like, which ones have you played?
Yeah, I played Divinity 1 and 2
Mm-hmm.
with my IRL husband, and then Divinity 2 we played like a four-player game with a bunch of friends. And I also did play their spin-off game called Dragon Commander, even though that was terrible, but I was like, I'm gonna play it, and I was like, but yeah. So I played, that's all I've played. I think they did like more like older games, but those ones I've not heard of. But yeah, I've played those three.
Ah, yes. All right. Divinity Original Sin 2 and the first one. Nice. Well, me, before Baldur's Gate 3, I also played Divinity 2. That is the only Larian Studios game that I played before Baldur's Gate 3. And I generally, even though I did not finish it, don't smite me, please. Even though I did not finish it, though, I had such a blast with that game. I mean, it is as D&D as D&D gets. Of course, character creation was like a definitely a gem for its time. I mean, modern games nowadays, when it comes to character customization, it can be, unless it's a Japanese game or FromSoft game, it's not really that in depth. But yeah, Divinity 2 was really good for its time. And
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
now, from what I've heard, I don't know if it's 100% true, but apparently Baldur's Gate 3 is a heavily modded Divinity Original Sin 2 engine. That's what I heard. Now, again, I did not finish Divinity 2 to vividly remember its engine, but having played it briefly, like, I can see where, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So they basically used Divinity 2's really good engine, and they modded it just so that it can accommodate Baldur's Gate 3 with Baldur's Gate, which we will get to later. And for some miraculous way, they were able to fit Divinity 2 on the freaking Switch. I do not know what kind of Netherese magic they had to use to make that shit work, but somehow it worked. For some ungodly reason, they made that shit work. Gale would be
I mean,
proud of that achievement.
they got The Witcher 3 to work on the Switch.
Oh, yes.
I feel like there's a lot like mobile chips. I mean, this is because I'm like an IT person, IRL. But I feel like mobile phone chips nowadays like pretty powerful. It's not gonna look as great as a PC, but they can make it work.
Yes. I mean, yeah. But here's the thing, though, and this is just a personal opinion because I'm not a freaking expert. But I think Divinity 2's like game features and systems can be a lot more complicated than Witcher 3. I mean,
Yeah, because they have a lot of like the environmental stuff and the way the different like types of magic work. Like, oh, if there's water on the floor and you cast electricity, oh, there's electrified water. That's pretty complicated. Witcher 3 doesn't really do any of that stuff. But I'd
yeah,
say like Witcher 3 just was like a giant game.
it was,
in
yeah, a
general.
giant game, but it's not that complicated a game. And of course, like, I'm pretty sure you saw that Twitter clip of someone literally using chests full of loot so they're heavy.
Oh yeah.
And then they just thunder waved that off a cliff to kill a mob. And I'm just like, wow.
Yeah,
Talk about weapons doing the heavy lifting, quite literally.
It's pretty crazy. I've also seen people like load up a bag with explosives and then they firebolt the bag and it explodes,
Yes. And
which is insane.
And the craziest one, and this is very impressive because I'm surprised the game did not crash. Now again, like I mentioned in the tweet, and Mira knows this, this talk will be spoiler free only after Act 1, but we will try our best to avoid any like important information in Act 1. They'll be vague at best. Anyway, so when you infiltrate the goblin camp, right, in Act 1, so you have the camp proper and then the actual fortress, right? This guy literally just got all the explosive barrels that he was able to get and literally just planted them in front of the goblins, and I'm like, this is where video game AI is just so funny. There's like, yeah, this true soul is just putting explosive barrels. Whatever, we don't care. And then, even in front of the ritual, in the fortress, and then near the drow commander, like, just set up a chain reaction of barrels exploding. I'm like, the game has to calculate the damage for everything within the explosive range, and the game has not crashed yet. That is fucking impressive. Like, that is absolutely impressive.
That video is brilliant, by the way. It's so good.
It's just dumb fun. And again, like, whenever I see stuff like that, I do tell my viewers that is the embodiment of the true spirit of a D&D session. Like, hey, DM, I'm gonna do this, and the DM's just like, yeah, sure, go ahead, roll for blank, like, exactly. And that's why D&D games are generally fun, even though they're very hard to set up and hard to, commit to, because it does allow for creative stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anywho, so outside of D&D, of course, and Larian Studios games, and of course, I think I recall that I met you through Fire Emblem. What RPGs have you played in the past? And which
Oh my
one
god.
is your favorite? That's toughy.
Well, RPGs are like my preferred genre of game. Like, it.
Same.
If there's like a new one coming out that looks like half decent, I'm probably gonna play it.
Oh
Um,
yes.
I feel like before Baldur's Gate 3 came out, my favorite one, like all time, and was Dragon Age Inquisition, or just the Dragon
Oh
Age series
my
in general.
god, Dragon Age.
Just that the whole game
Oh
series in general was my fave.
shit. My god, classic Bioware game. Holy shit.
Like literally, like Dragon Age Origins. Oh, amazing for
Oh
its time.
yes.
It's still great, but like now it's kind of like aged really badly, and I think the models maybe don't look nearly as good. But like it's still a freaking great game.
Oh yes,
But
absolutely.
Inquisition, oh that stupid elf stole my heart and never gave it back.
Oh, you're talking about Solus?
Yeah.
Ah.
And I'm just like waiting for Dragon Age 4, and I feel like a donkey, and the freaking Bioware is like got a carrot on a stick in front of me. Like every couple of years, they'll be like, "Hey guys, we're making the game. Hey guys, we're making the game. Hey guys, we're making the game. Here's some art. Hey guys, we're making the game. Here's a teaser. Hey guys, we're making it. We promise. We're still making it. It's been 12 years, bro. I'm like, I don't want to hear about it anymore until you give me a date. Like, go away."
Very true. I mean, I did also play not just the Dragon Age series from BioWare, but also the KOTOR series and Knights of the Old Republic. That was so fucking good.
See, I
But
never
yeah,
played that, and everyone tells me it's great.
you should consider playing it. But yeah, Dragon Age all as well. I have played the first, Origins, second, and of course Inquisition, the third. Like, if there's one thing that strikes me about RPGs is when, like, my favorite kinds of RPG, like, I don't like, you didn't have to pick one, but basically my favorite kinds of RPGs are the ones where I can actually converse to my party members, and like there is so much in-depth dialogue. It's not like how do I put it? It's not like the world is just happening to them, but they're also happening in that world that you are living in. I mean, not to say that having a central character where everything practically revolves around a character is bad, but it's just nice to know that your party members are not just along for the ride. Like, they have their own stories too, and I mean that's very, it's very realistic. And again, not to throw shade at like Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest or even Fire Emblem at this point, but it's just really nice to play an RPG where, again, a really immersive, a really well written, well built world, but everyone is existing in that world as if they are actually part of it. So to give an example, like I said, in Dragon Age, literally every party member you have, they have their own like companion quest and everything that is very separate from the main quest. I mean, you yourself, you're really just main quest. That is your quest. And to give a better example, of course, Mass Effect, literally Mass Effect, one of the other basically Space Dragon Age. It's basically Space Dragon Age with guns. Literally the companion quests in 1 and 2 are basically mandatory if you don't want them to die in the final
Right.
mission. And they have their own like they have their own mini stories and whatnot. And again, the dialogue, I think the largest part of any BioWare game is the dialogue. Like how many thousands of lines of dialogue that they have to write and then record and take into account player choice as well. Like that is insane. And Baldur's Gate 3 does that as well. Like granted, your character is not fully voiced, at least in dialogue, just for contextual voices like look out, there's a trap, and that kind of thing. Like in the overworld dialogue, that's it. But it's just really nice that, again, this is really up to preference, but I think having a silent protagonist is good because you can sort of vocalize or evoke your own kind of emotion during certain scenes instead of having a character do that for you. I mean, again, pros and cons of having a voiced character and a silent protagonist. If done right, both are really good. So yeah, for me, I have to say that my favorite RPG probably will definitely be like top 3. Like, I want to put Baldur's Gate 3 at number 1, but before Baldur's Gate 3, because again, the topic is Baldur's Gate 3, so it's kind of a given. But before Baldur's Gate 3, I would definitely put up there Fire Emblem, followed by...
Wait, but which Fire Emblem?
Oh shit. Okay, which one? I have to say, okay, good question. I would have to say my favorite one is definitely Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening, definitely.
Okay. Yep.
Yep, like I have said that Awakening, like lots of people love it, but a number of people hate it. But I do say it's the most important one because that was the deciding game for Intelligent Systems. If that game didn't do well, they're bankrupt. Like they literally said, we were going to declare bankrupt if this game did not sell X amount of copies.
Wow.
But it did. And 2023, 2022, this is how I met Mir Octavia with their nth title of Fire Emblem Engage.
Engage is so dumb though.
Yes, watching you suffer fighting Ike. I'm just like, well, that's Ike. It's freaking Ike. Anyway, so yeah, number 1 for me, definitely Fire Emblem is arguably my most favorite. Followed by, I have to say Dragon Age Origins because that one blew my mind when I first played it, because not only does your character have a unique dialogue based on your race, but even your intro prologue sequence is unique to your race and your sub-race. Like you have the forest elves and then the city elves. I'm like, wait, the intro is different? Damn. And then like your dialogue options after that also differ based on your background. Also different when you're a mage. I'm just like, whoa, how crazy is this? And of course, that's where we saw the likes of really good voice acting from quite literally every party member and most of even the non-named NPCs that you encounter. Like they all did such a great job. And then number 3, I would probably say, I would have to say, not many people played this, but I absolutely loved it. Triangle Strategy.
What is that?
Triangle Strategy. Do you know Octopath Traveler?
Yeah.
There you go. It's from the same developers of like, the HD, the HD bit RPGs from Square Enix. Yeah, they made Triangle Strategy. Now, Triangle Strategy is different from Octopath because it's more of a mishmash of FF Tactics and Tactics Ogre, where you have a morality system and like decisions can actually affect which ending you get and even which party members you do get. So yeah, like that game was very, again, like it's FF Tactics, Tactics Ogre, so the combat itself is not too crazy, but the simplicity plus the world building and the decisions really made that game like a gem that unfortunately not many people played, but way up there. But of course, Baldur's Gate 3 definitely just dethroned Fire Emblem, because I gotta say, Baldur's Gate 3 definitely my favorite RPG of all time. Okay, I said it.
Okay, okay.
All right. Okay, this probably like a question I'm sure everyone has been asked before for any big game, but how did you hype yourself leading up to the release of BG3? So, did you watch trailers? Did you like get hearsay from friends, or did you, keep yourself in the dark until day 1 of its release?
Oh, well, like literally after like so like when Larian released Divinity 1, like I kickstarted that game. Like I was like, hell yeah, I'm
Whoa.
a mad early adopter. And then they were like, okay, we're gonna do number 2 on Kickstarter as well. I was like, here you go, Larian, here's my money. So then literally I was just waiting for the next thing they were gonna do. Because I was like, it's Larian, I love all the games, like I'm paying attention. And then they came out, I think it was a PC game show one year, like,
Mm.
hey guys, we're making Baldur's Gate 3, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So literally, like, I don't know, I played the early access. I put 100 hours into the early access before the game came out. I think I reran it like 5-6 times. I'm not even kidding.
Damn.
And then like just before it came out, three friends and I jumped in the early access, and like we just like speed ran like another run doing like crazy bullshit. It was fun.
I see. Well, when I first heard of the announcement for Baldur's Gate 3, I'm like, whoa, I have not heard of Baldur's Gate in years. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, if I were to check, like, Baldur's Gate 2 released literally 10 years ago. I mean, no, sorry, that's the
Oh, no.
enhanced edition. The original one is 2000. Turn of
Yeah.
the millennium. I'm like, oh my god.
I was
A lot of
Oh
our
God, I don't
friends
wanna-
haven't even been born when this game was released.
I don't want to say how old I was because then people will like literally guess my age. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
was a child.
I was also a child when it released. And of course, like, the last time I saw anything related to Baldur's Gate was literally when a few years back, I believe I watched Josh Strife Hayes talk about Baldur's Gate, like the old ones, and I'm just like, whoa, this game looks old, but hot damn, I can see text for everything. Like,
Oh my God.
just hypothetical, like if Mira was playing the game, Mira opens wooden door. Mira opens wooden chest. Mira
Yep,
examines
yep,
wall.
yep.
I'm like, whoa,
I mean,
really old format.
that's how the old school like RPGs used to be. And
Yes,
like,
the point and
I
click
grew up-
ones.
Yeah, I grew up playing like all of those. Like I played BG1, BG2, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, like all
Oh
of
my
that
god,
stuff
Neverwinter
is like
Nights.
is like formative games of my childhood. And so it was like and so I see actually it's the funniest thing I've seen. I saw this TikTok literally today where the guy's like, yo, I've put 60 hours into Baldur's Gate 3. Where's Baldur's Gate? Everyone's talking about it, but I don't feel like it exists. And I'm like,
yes.
oh honey, if you'd played BG1 and BG2, you would know you have to put like 1 billion hours in before you even get to the damn city. That's just how the games work.
Yeah, like, I've never played Baldur's Gate, so I'm like, please tell me Baldur's Gate is not a metaphor. Like, but then again, like, we're heading to Baldur's Gate. Yeah, the letters courier for Baldur's Gate. I'm like, Jesus Christ, everyone's talking about Baldur's Gate like it's a sanctuary of some sorts. And then, of
Oh,
course,
yeah.
when I reached it, I'm like, holy shit, this place is huge. And this is just one part of the city. We can't even explore the entire
Oh.
city.
I gotta say that it was kind of crazy because like when you're playing Baldur's Gate 3 and you're just like in like, oh, I'm in the Emerald Grove and now I'm in like Act 2, and it's like, okay, every time you see a person you're like, okay, this person must be important, I'm gonna click on them and they'll give me a quest or something. You get to the city and there's so many of them, it's like, bro,
It's
I'm
an
getting
actual city.
agoraphobia. And you
It's
go
an
click on
actual
someone,
city.
and you're like, are all these people important? And you click on someone and he's like complaining about the fucking fish or something that day. And that's all he has to say.
Yeah, like, the fact that they made just about every citizen of Baldur's Gate, like, it doesn't just give like, you know, text above their head dialogue. No, the camera gives you like the dialogue camera as if you're talking to an important NPC. I'm like, oh, how many NPCs do I have to click in Baldur's Gate? What the fuck?
Oh my god. It's great.
Yeah. But me personally, let's see. Yeah. I did see the announcement for Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, whoa, I have not heard of Baldur's Gate in years. The fact that they're not doing Divinity 3, but Baldur's Gate 3, all right. I did.
Well, like, oh, actually, sorry. I'm going to go on a little bit of tangent because I just thought of something. But like, the reason why I think also everybody was so excited for Baldur's Gate 3 is because we kind of went through like this really like a lull period of like these random studios putting out like D&D based games that were just like really bad. Like the last like good one was, I don't even remember when it came out. And so when people were like, oh my god, Larian's doing Baldur's Gate 3 and they have like this really good track record, everyone was like, okay, I'm invested. Because I think they did like Temple of Elemental Evil game that was really bad. I didn't even know who put it out, but it wasn't great. So like there was like I think for like 10 years there was like D&D games coming out that were just like not good.
Oh yeah, I think like when they saw Baldur's Gate, they're like, it has to be Larian Studios doing it, right? And then yup, I'm like, okay, good, it's in good hands.
Well, actually, the story there is when Larian I think did Divinity 1, they went to like Wizards of the Coast and tried to get the license, and then they were like, no, you cannot have it. So Larian was like, all right, I'll do my own thing. And then they were like, can we have it now? And then Wizards of the Coast were like, okay.
Oh, yes. Well, for me, after I saw the announcement, they did also announce like the practically alpha test early access, not even like the deluxe edition early access that people got for this, for the full release. But yeah, the UI, I did play a little bit of it. I didn't finish it, but I'm just like, whoa, this is early access? This is not bad for an early access game. What the fuck?
Well, yeah, like that's how Larian, like when Larian did the Kickstarters for Divinity 1 and 2, that's how they released them as well. Like if you're a backer, you got an early access version of Act 1, and they just like took everyone's feedback for X amount of years and just polished it up the whole time.
Yep, 3 to 4 years of that for Baldur's Gate 3 on top of their own development. And what is the thing that they did for the early access people? They get the deluxe edition for free. I'm like, whoa, what a huge thank you. Like, when I saw like the deluxe edition, I was shocked, not only at the price, but I mean, in USD, it's like, what, $5 or $6? When I saw the review overwhelmingly positive, I'm like, what? a DLC deluxe that's overwhelmingly positive? And then I checked the comments. I was part of the early access. Thanks for giving to me for free, Larry. And I'm like,
yep.
What? They got this shit for free. Like, holy shit. That's hella awesome. That's hella based.
It's so good.
But yeah, after that, I was too busy playing other games. So Baldur's Gate 3 was definitely under the radar for me, my personal radar. But when it really, I wasn't even planning on buying it because like come August, I'm like, shit, I can't, I need to fill the void for August. But I'm like, Starfield is coming out literally September 1, and then Phantom Liberty Cyberpunk is also coming the same month as that. So
oh
shit,
my god, I forgot about the Cyberpunk expansion.
Yes, of course, the question is Idris Elba romanceable? Find out on September 26th. But yeah, like, September was full, so I'm like, what the hell can I fill the void for August? Because, like, the most played game I have right now is literally RE4. I have like Resident Evil 4.
Oh,
I have 450 hours in that game.
How many playthroughs did you do? Because like
I
played
have
it once on
lost count, and for those who want to like, wait, how long is an average playthrough? If you're speedrunning that shit, it will maybe take you 2 to 3 hours.
Oh my god.
And
I played it once on my stream, and then I think I did like another stream where I was trying to get the stupid Leon mod to work, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, and then again, like, I have 450 hours in RE4. Now, so
Jesus.
August, I'm like, I gotta play something outside of RE4. Not like it's getting old, but I'm just like, I'm waiting for the Separate Ways DLC. God damn it, Capcom. So I'm expecting, yeah. So, and then I remembered, wait, Armored Core is coming out late August. I'm like, but that's cutting it close to Starfield though. And then, literally, I'm partially blaming you, Mira. You were playing Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, okay, it looks like a polished game right now. I can see textures actually loading. And okay, the dice actually looks like a proper D20 dice. All right. And then I saw the reviews. I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
literally, I was practically what, 1-2 days late to the BG3 party official release, not early access. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I think I should get this game. Like, I think I should
it's
get
great.
it. And then I got it, and then I'm like, oh no, oh no, this game has surpassed my expectations. Oh shit. So yeah, compared to Mira here, I was basically under the radar for BG3. So I was absolutely wowed day one for my experience. It was crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
It's really great.
Yes. All right. Before we head into intermission for the first part, for the first half, are you aware of the quote unquote? Because again, it's not really panicking, but that's why, yeah, quote unquote, right? Have you heard of the quote unquote panic or criticism that other game devs are saying towards Baldur's Gate 3?
Yes, I saw the Twitter thread.
Yes, you saw the Twitter. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of in the middle. I feel like there's a couple things that I forget what the guy's name was, but that they were saying that I'm like, okay, look, that's fair enough, but I feel like not every game is gonna come out and be a Baldur's Gate 3, and I don't think they should be. Like, you want to have a variety of experiences. Like, the next thing I want to play after finishing Baldur's Gate 3 is Stray Gods, and that's like an indie game, and it's like completely different. And you know, that's fine. But I just feel like everyone complaining, like, oh my god, they can't raise the bar. I'm like, shut up, dude. This is the bar now. Like, deal with it.
Well, me personally, I think a lot of parties are completely misunderstanding the reason why people like me, people like Mira are praising Baldur's Gate 3 and hoisting it up like a golden standard, because Baldur's Gate 3 isn't doing, in our honest opinion, we're not even downplaying here, we're being honest. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't doing anything crazy. This was industry standard decades ago. You released a game that worked, it was smooth, it was complete, there was no microtransactions, it was just a game. It was fun, it was complete, that's it. In modern era game industry, that's literally what everyone is asking for, and what most people are asking for when they say, I hope devs can make more games like Baldur's Gate 3. We are not talking about the size of the game, the dialogues, the near infinite permutations of dialogue and choices that can affect everything after, where you have, I think it was the CEO who said, like, technically you can have 1,600 different kinds of like endings because of how many permutations, blah 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 blah. The combat, the character, whatever. No. We're not expecting people to make a game as, you know, exactly like Baldur's Gate 3, because I mean, look at BioWare. BioWare is the only one that I can trust Dragon Age and Mass Effect to. Square Enix is the only one I can trust Final Fantasy to, and so on and so forth. We just want people to look. We want the game devs to look at what made Baldur's Gate 3 not a 10 out of 10 game, but a game that everyone is praising for. It's not because it's not because of colorful party members, the very D&D faithful combat, or the story, the writing, sound design, music, etc., etc. No. Any game can do that. But can you confidently say that most games nowadays have released smoothly without microtransactions and without a paragraph of an apology letter that you've seen on Twitter for every game that has released for the past few months? No.
Oh, it's so funny. I just feel like, honestly, like, I have Battle Pass fatigue, man. Like, I'm over it. Like, every time I play anything, it's like, lol, play for 3 months. And I'm like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like a carrot on a stick is in front of me, like, play the game. No. You don't do that. I'm so glad like, that this game doesn't have a battle pass. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, man. I don't want to, like, oh, God. So, like, okay, I played Diablo 4 before this, right? And I don't want to talk too much shit because, like, you know, positive vibes. But, like, I played Diablo 4. I finished the campaign, and I was like, that was fine. It was fine. But, like, they're doing, like, the battle pass thing to, like, it feels like they're just doing the battle pass to try to get people to keep playing the game. And I was like, if people kept playing the game, if there was stuff in the game that made them come back, you don't need the battle pass.
Yeah, like it should be the game, not a thing people pay for to keep playing the game. That's exactly what we're asking for. Because Diablo was never like this. It wasn't like this in 1 and 2, or even 3. 3 didn't even have a battle pass.
I have okay, when Dragon Age Inquisition came out, I played it 6 times in a row when it came out. Because I wanted to, like, I did my first run as my elf mage, then I did my, then I did my tank human, then I did, like, my rogue character. Well, I wanted to see everything, so I just kept playing it. I have another friend who I think is watching. Shouts out to you. She's got 1,000 hours in Dragon Age Inquisition.
Holy shit.
She just keeps playing it again and again and again.
Of course. I mean, with the amount of dialogue you have, and remember, in Dragon Age Inquisition, your party members' dialogue differ based on who you have in your party.
Yes.
So yeah, it's just funny. It's really, really fucking funny.
Oh my god. But yeah, I'm just like, if you're playing like a shooting game, like say Call of Duty, I'm like, fine, there's gonna be a battle pass, whatever. It is what it is in that genre.
It fits it.
Yeah, I just feel like in like RPG and stuff like this, like it doesn't really make any sense. Like I know I've talked a lot of like praise about how good Inquisition was back in the day, but Inquisition, EA like made them put a multiplayer mode in it that nobody played because it like wasn't great. But they were like determined to also make that like, and this was like, when did it come out? Like 10 years ago? Like back then, like a live service thing, quote unquote, as well. And like nobody gave a shit about the multiplayer.
Yep. Same goes for Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. It had a multiplayer? Yeah, it did. Not many people even know that Mass Effect 3 had a multiplayer. Who the fuck would think that Mass Effect 3 would have a multiplayer? Because it just doesn't make any sense. It's a single player experience. It has to be a single player experience.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And again, that is an odd thing about Baldur's Gate 3. Like, it's a D&D campaign, but I would recommend it as a single player experience.
Yeah.
That's the best part about Baldur's. That's one of the best parts about Baldur's Gate 3. Multiplayer single doesn't matter. Like, whichever floats your boat. Yeah. But for me, like I said, I really think it's just a really bad misunderstanding, and I think rightfully so. Game devs should be afraid of Baldur's Gate 3. And again, not because of the graphics or the story or the dialogue or whatnot. No, not because of that. Look at the player count right now of concurrent players. It's nearing Elden Ring numbers. And do a note. Like, isn't D&D more popular than FromSoft? No. In the gaming industry, FromSoft games are like big hitters. They have not missed a single title. So when a new FromSoft game releases, they're gonna fucking get it. FromSoft games are way more popular than D&D simulators or classic RPGs, CRPGs. But for some ungodly reason, Baldur's Gate 3 is nearing Elden Ring concurrent player numbers. And what I mean by nearing, like, I just checked this morning, it's like 870, 880,000. And
Yeah.
Elden Ring peaked at 920,000. They're that close. One is more
Yeah.
niche than the other. Granted, FromSoft game is a niche, but it's a hella big niche in the gaming industry. D&D simulator though, very very small niche in the gaming industry, but it's doing big numbers, crazy numbers.
The other thing is, like, a lot of people get put off by turn-based games as well. So that's also kind of insane that enough people are like, oh, I'm gonna give it a go, even though I don't like turn-based stuff.
Yeah, because turn-based is such a very, like, I wouldn't say outdated, but it's a very old kind of RPG subgenre that, like, I have to accept the fact it's not as appealing anymore to the current generation. It just isn't. Like, they don't, like,
I
people
love
don't
turn-based.
generally. I love turn-based too. I mean, why do you think Fire Emblem was #1 for me before BG3 dethroned it? But, like, I mean, again, people most of the time, they don't want to take too much time taking their time. I mean, there is a reason why stealth games are literally under the radar. Because what is stealth games about? Patience and taking your time. But people don't want to do that. They just want to hit people, shoot people, like, immediately. They want to get into the action. And you know what? That's fine. Because without that mentality, we wouldn't get an FF7 remake. We wouldn't get the Resident Evil remakes wouldn't be what they are now without that mentality in mind. So again, it's not completely bad. It just has to be done right. But I am glad that Baldur's Gate 3, Larian Studios stuck to their roots. Like, no, we're not gonna turn Baldur's Gate or our games into Dragon Age. We're just gonna, like, we know what kind of players play our game, and we're gonna make the game that they wanted. Which is why we did the early release, and no one was like, well, I'm pretty sure there were a few, but majority were like, yeah, just polish this shit because this is surefire game on release. Just polish this shit.
Do you ever play Pillars of Eternity, like 1 or 2?
I have not, but I did consider it at some point.
Okay, there's another example of a game as well that I was gonna bring up, but like Pillars of Eternity came out, and that's by Obsidian, and they were like kind of like, okay, we're gonna revive, like, yeah, they were saying like, okay, we're gonna kickstart this game, and it's gonna be like a revival of the old school like isometric RPG. And when it first came out, it didn't have turn-based in it, and I was like, this game is unfucking playable with turn-based. I was literally like playing it like a turn-based because I was just like pausing after every character like did their action.
Just like in Dragon Age.
Yeah, and then they finally added it, and then I was like, thank God they fixed it. And then there's another game that came out. So like, there's also you might not be aware, but like, there's D&D, right? Which is like the main tabletop game that people play. But there's another rule set out there called Pathfinder, which is made by a different company. That was based on the 3.5 version of D&D. They took the rules because they were open source back then and went, we don't like some stuff, we're gonna change it because that iteration of D&D was very clunky. And for a while that was very popular. So there's like a Pathfinder based CRPGs out there now, and when the first one of those came out called Pathfinder Kingmaker, that also came out with no turn-based mode, and it was unfucking playable until they added it in.
Oh, good God. You know what's sad too? Obsidian was also part of the same developers that were like afraid of Baldur's Gate 3. I'm like, rightfully so.
I mean, I feel like anyone who comes after BG3 is gonna have like big shoes to fill. That includes like, if you're working at BioWare and you're working on Dragon Age 4, you're probably sitting there like the fucking, what's the Kermit the Frog worried gif?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh my
But again,
gosh.
the reason why I cannot agree with most of what these devs are saying is because I always believe that competition breeds excellence. Like, you shouldn't be happy with just settling for enough. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 has done exactly that. Like, no, this should be the new standard. We're not talking about, again, size or depth or whatever of the game. No, we're just talking about we released a game, no DRM, no MTX, no battle pass, runs smoothly. Yes, I'm looking at you. Literally every game for the past few months that run like ass on.
Did you play Redfall?
I've heard about Redfall. I've seen Redfall. I had to bleach my eyes, dude.
Oh my god.
I had to bleach my eyes when I saw that shit. But yeah, exactly my point. Like, it did run like a mess. And yes, like Unagi mentioned, Jedi Survivor. Yeah, EA and Respawn had to do that Twitter paragraph thing. So did
man.
Gollum as well, and Redfall. So many games the past few months. And guess what? Larian Studios? Nope. They're just celebrating. They're just popping the champagne like, hell yeah, we released a game that no one is complaining about, at least performance-wise. That should be the standard.
Yeah, yeah. It's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, we're not saying, like, again, but there are people out there who are unreasonable. Like, it's so no, it's not. It's not. It's not easy developing a game this big. And when I mean big, I'm not talking about the file size. Like, the file size is big, but I'm talking about the world this big, so many dialogue options, so many choices that the game allows you to make and takes into consideration the choices you did make. And then the fact that the class system, there's so many subclasses, and you can even multi-class. I mean, there's literally an achievement. Multi-class into every single class.
Oh my god, is that one?
Yeah, that is an achievement. You're basically level 1 in every single class.
Oh man, I had a friend do that in one of my like D&D one-shot games. He we were playing a game at I think level 5, so he just chose 5 different classes, and like his whole character's backstory was like, he was just trying to figure out whatever worked for him, and every time he would just run into a problem. It was funny.
I mean, yeah, the fact that the game allows you to do that, exactly my point. It's good game design. It's good game design. Yeah. We're not that demanding. Some people are unreasonable, but the general census, we're just really asking for, can you please release a game where there's no paragraph apology after it's released? That's all we're asking for. It's really all we're asking for, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna take a quick 10-minute intermission. So, for those who want to ask us anything about Baldur's Gate 3, just leave a message in the chat, and we will acknowledge them, and we will address them. Meanwhile, Mira, I hydrate?
Oh yeah.
Hydrate. So last time I saw your tweet, you're like, Legend of Ansor, right?
Yeah, we did that last time. And now we just have to punch a brain.
Oh, nice. I did that too. Like, fuck that boss fight. Good luck. I wish you all the luck.
We'll see how it goes.
Like, I'm glad the boss is not a pushover. But hot damn. it feels like an actual final boss. Like, yep, this is something a DM would make his players suffer, because I suffered hard.
Did you do the Raphael fight?
Oh, no, not yet. I was I'm doing that in my second playthrough, actually. I'm making sure I don't miss out on anything in my second playthrough.
We did a 4-hour detour on my stream, and it's my favorite fight in the whole game. It's so good.
Okay. Oh yeah, did you know that this is why I love second playthroughs of most games. Did you know that you can actually stop the ritual without even setting foot in the goblin camp?
Yeah, you can just apparently Steal the shrine?
No,
The
that's
idol?
not even what I'm talking about. No.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, like if you uh if you check, like, again, like when I did the quest the first time, I'm like, wait, so I have to. I mean, that's what most NPCs will tell you. That's what Nettie will tell you, and that's what Zevlor will tell you, and that's what Kaga will tell you. Like, basically, like, you want to stop the ritual so that the tieflings don't die the moment they set foot out of the grove. You gotta save Halcyon. But in true D&D and like game fashion, if you explore basically the first druid's office, which is basically now Kaga's, there is a letter in Kaga's chest. And it will tell you, like, wait, she was supposed to meet someone here, blah blah blah. What's that all about? And I'm like, wait, what?
You find out she's been sus, and then you can go back to her and be like,
And then
"Oi!"
you can confront her about it, and then you can, like, either kill her or convince her to stop the ritual. I'm like, what? I thought I had to, like, rescue Halcyon so he can stop the ritual, because this bitch won't listen to me. But wait, I can actually stop her. And it's just a nice arc because it shows, it really does sink in that it's not like Kaga is a complete bitch. No, she was just very desperate. But if you did not go through that or even read the books, yeah, like I rarely do this in a lot of games where there are notes and shit, but read the books. There's a reason there's an achievement. Read 100 books in a single playthrough. Read them. Read them. You learn about the shadow druids and whatnot, and apparently they were the ones that convinced her to, like, yeah, shut this grove off, and you will be, have us join the circle, and you'll be the first druid. I'm like, oh shit. It was already bad enough that they were like, yeah, we'll give you power, but the fact that they were under fire from so many goblin attacks and basically attacks in general within the area, like, obviously you cannot completely blame Kaga for resorting to that ritual and stuff. So I'm like, oh my god.
Do you know what happens if you, like, let her kill the kid or you don't save the kid?
I do know because no, I don't know, but I can imagine what happens. What does happen if you just let her kill the kid?
Okay, if the kid dies, when you have the party later, the parents poison Kaga's wine and kill her.
Oh. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, they're like, fuck you. I'm like, oh.
Well, a life for a life, I guess. And yeah, I'm not gonna talk about the ending because I do want you to be completely surprised by the ending. Like, woo.
Yeah, don't tell me anything.
I won't.
I already had to tell Squid Daddy no, and then he was like, fine, I go join the brain. I was like,
but yeah, I'm just like, whoa, the ending was like, oh, that's such a good way to end the game.
okay, I'm excited.
But yeah, it's a good thing also that you're closing a lot of companion quests before you touch the ending.
Oh, yeah.
Do that. Question: Larian have made several small tweaks to 5e. What are some of your favorites that BG3 have introduced? I cannot properly answer that question because, again, I am not a D&D veteran. But from what I have checked, though, apparently there are a lot of limitations that Larian have removed from the 5e format so that it fits their very free flow class system, and I think that's good because, again, if there's one thing that players love in a video game, it's choices. They like to be able to make choices and not have the game say, no, we designed the game to like do this only. Like, no, come on, it's a video game. Let people do stupid stuff. But yeah, I think you'll be more qualified to answer this question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, There's a lot of changes they've made to the rules and certain abilities that you can do to make it more like gamey.
Mm-hmm.
So one example would be like I'm playing a divination wizard,
Mm-hmm.
and a divination wizard gets a certain number of what are called portents each day.
Oh yeah,
So each
portents.
day you roll some like d20s and you can use those on like your friends or the enemies. So like if the enemy rolls a 20 and crits you, you can be like, nope, your 20 is now a 12 or something.
Yeah, it depends on
Uh,
which choices you have.
yeah, so on the
Yeah, portent.
tabletop, you just get like 2 of them a day and that's it. But in BG3, they made it so that you can actually regain some of your used dice if you fulfill prophecies. And
Mm.
usually the prophecies are like, do force damage or do piercing damage, and you get your dice back, which is cool because maybe you don't want to long rest every 5 minutes in the video game to have all your abilities, right? Which is fun. They've also made changes to the way that some of the spells work. So, like, some spells have been now been moved from an action to a bonus action,
Hmm.
which is cool because maybe you don't want to use your entire action on like a small buff. Um, you know, um, one example would be like True Strike, which is kind of a crap spell in the tabletop because it's an action and then your next attack you roll with advantage, right? In Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's a bonus action now, which means you just give it to yourself and then immediately smack like right away, which is different, which is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've done a lot of like gamey things, which is perfectly fine. I think it makes it more fun.
I mean, yeah, it's really good for them to take into account. Like, they're not gonna drastically change the format that people say this isn't 5e anymore. No, it's just a more forgiving kind of D&D format, and that is one way I have described Baldur's Gate 3. Like, just imagine a D&D campaign that's a lot more free in choice and a lot more forgiving.
Oh yeah. Oh, and one other thing I guess is some of the items you can find late game are like way overpowered compared to like what's in the actual books.
Ooh.
Like there's some stuff you can get that I'm like, yo, that is ridiculous. Like I won't spoil it, but I found a suit of armor that I can wear that's basically equivalent to like full plate, but my wizard can wear it because
Whoa.
that's awesome.
Huh.
And so my wizard is walking around with 21 AC. It's great.
Wait, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it has like, you are considered proficient when you're wearing this.
Yes!
Oh yeah,
Yes!
okay.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay. Like that is not in the books, like at all. and that kind of item, I would say, is like, that's not like a 5th edition D&D item. That's like a 3.5 edition D&D item. They had like crazy shit like that back then.
But you know what? Fuck it. It's a video game. Let's turn it into a video game. Come on.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's pretty awesome.
Mm.
The items are really great.
Okay. I do have to ask this. Favorite male companion?
Male? I think you already know. I like that stupid vampire boy.
The
Astarion.
pale elf Astarion. You know, I just
great.
checked that the voice actor Neil Newbon, he's on Cameo right now, and he has been getting a lot of requests.
Bro, Neil Newborn is like amazing because like before he was in this, he was in like another one of like my really like. Have you ever played Detroit Become Human?
Yes.
Yeah, he plays like, you know, the shitty cop. He plays him in that, and he plays the villain
Mm.
in Detroit, which is like,
Yeah, the
if you look at
creator of
the-
all the, you know,
the androids.
the androids.
But if you look at like the voices he did in that game versus what he's doing for his Astarion, you're like, oh my god, that's range.
Well, not just that, also, but again, he also voiced frickin' Heisenberg in RE Village, and again.
Oh yeah, that too. I forgot about that
And
one.
again,
Yes.
the way he says, this is perfect. It, like, I can imagine a story.
It's so good. But yeah,
Lady,
so far,
supersized bitch. Like, I've never heard anyone say bitch like that, but now I need to hear the word bitch said like that every time.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh, I can't. What did he say? I was watching a video yesterday, and I think he was like signing stuff for fans, but putting like a message from Astarion. And I can't remember what it was, but somebody in his chat said something that was like,
Ghostarian.
not the honking one. I forget what the fuck it was. But basically, it was such a savage burn. It was something like, oh, you know, just try to do better at art if you can. Like a really backhanded way of saying it. It's so fucking
That's
funny.
one way to. That's something Astarion would say.
It was great. It was great.
Darling,
yeah.
your art sucks.
The only male character that I've done the full romance with is Astarion. We had Halston on the side, you know, he's a side.
Oh
dish,
yeah,
obviously.
you can. I did hear you can have polyamorous relationships.
Yeah, we had him on the side. That was great. But like, I think once you've locked in with the, like, I guess quote unquote the main person, his one doesn't really proceed further because apparently like Halson starts out being like, oh yes, one with nature, and I don't care, nature's bounty, whatever the fuck. But then things can get more serious with him, and he'll actually be like, no, just you and me, actually. But I don't think that's gonna happen because, you know, I chose Astarion. So I enjoy Halson. He's great. He's a great character. Gale, I didn't go for him because I was getting like Dragon Age 2 Anders flashbacks.
Oh no! Not Anders from DA2. No.
I'm like, this asshole's gonna blow up a church or something. Like, fuck this. And like, and also apparently, you know, he had relations with the god of magic. How the fuck am I supposed to compete with a goddess, bro? He's gonna leave me 100%. So didn't go for that. And then Will, early game, just reeks of like desperation, dude. He like just wants to like have your attention so badly. I'm like, ew. Oh my god.
Okay, favorite female companion.
Oh man, that's tough. I'm thinking. I feel like it has to be Karlach.
Has to be
She's
Karlach.
so good.
Yeah.
She's so good. And I love her. She's just a sweetheart, but very angry.
Very angry. And whenever it's his turn, fuck yes. I'm like, yes! Yes!
I love her quips when it's her turn. She's like, you playing with fire, baby? I'm like,
fuck yes.
It's so good! She's so great. But we just kind of got to like the end of her story, and I'm like, oh no, I'm so sad now. Oh. But it's fine. We love her.
Well, it's okay. I'm not gonna spoil it, but your companion quests, don't underestimate. Don't underestimate. That's all I'm gonna say.
It says completed. What do you want me to do, Inari?
Don't worry. That's the thing. That's the thing. Even it says completed. Don't underestimate them.
Oh my god.
Depending on your choices, how these things resolve can change. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh boy. Well, we'll see what happens.
One Astarion tweet I also did see was when their character was in a relationship with Astarion, and then at the end of his quest, they broke up with Astarion, and Astarion's lines were like, what?
Oh my god, he was so
It's like, wait, shit, did I do something wrong?
I saw that.
Oh my god, that was such a good arc, because yeah, I mean, Astarion consistently really just thinks about himself, and I ain't doing a good deed unless there's a reward at the end of it. Fuck it. But because of his interaction with you, where literally he thought that, why the hell is this bitch helping me? Like, she's not getting shit at the end. Like, he said, you made this my heartbeat, and it still will. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck?
Dude, I saw that tweet and I was like, I don't have the heart to play on this. Like, I don't want to
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. Oh man. The poor boy. He's just full
Yeah.
of so much trauma.
Another one that I think, though, on one end, I'm like, yeah, Larian is not going to tweak this because it has to be a deliberate choice. But I do believe that, obviously, based on your decisions in the story, you will get either Halcyon or Minthara. The rest you will get naturally as you go unless you intentionally miss them. So yeah, you get either the Drow Elf or the Bear Boy, the Bear Man.
Bear man.
And people did say that Minthara's companion questline is actually really, really well written. And I'm like, wow, too bad you have to make a really shitty decision though.
Oh yeah. I was like,
literally
trying to
two-thirds
figure it out.
sided with the druids and a third sided with the goblins. And I'm like, I think the only person who's okay with that in your party will definitely be Astarion and Lae'zel, because they don't give two shits about it. Astarion's like,
I don't know.
yes, this is definitely good wine.
Apparently, with Shadowheart stuff, and I don't know if you've done much of her like stuff.
Oh, I have.
But she's apparently one of the companions that can really get shaped by the player.
Yes,
so if the player like
definitely.
consistently does like bad shit, she'll be like more okay with it. And then with like Lae'zel, I don't know that it's like she doesn't care if you do evil stuff. She just wants you to be like direct and take action. If that makes sense.
And wait, Kalto said there is a way to get both, but it bugs out the game massively. Huh.
Yeah, because I was thinking about this, like, what if, like, instead of killing, because, like, there's a, the way that I ended my Act 1 is there's a way you can set up, like, a defense battle at the Grove. So, and in the game, combat ends if the characters are knocked out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you had non-lethally knocked out Minthara and then initiative ended, and then would that count as, like, winning? And then could you leave her alive and maybe recruit her later?
That's
That'd be
what I'm
interesting
planning to do
figure
in my
out.
second playthrough. And the only thing I can imagine is you might encounter her in Act 2 in the Moonrise Towers. Like that is my guess. That is my guess. That is my only guess, but I will find out in my second playthrough. But yeah, hot damn, like second playthroughing the game after your first playthrough, it will really like shock you of how many things you can miss. You can absolutely miss.
Second playthrough, I'm gonna do Dark Urge run. We'll see what happens. But apparently, the Dark Urge run is very interesting. Everybody was saying it's a really good story.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. Okay, let's move on to part 2 of the Shrine Talk. All right, so we're getting more into the meat of the topic. So, let's start with a very unserious one. Did Baldur's Gate 3 live up to your expectations? Oh boy.
I think for me, I think it did. I always thought that like it was gonna be great, just because like I played the early access, I played like a whole bunch of different builds. Like I played the very first build and I played the very last build of early access, and like a couple in between, and like even just like looking at how they updated the environment in that period was like great. Like there was like it looked good at the start, but then they added just like all the nice set dressing, and they started making the cutscenes look less janky and make the characters like more animated. I was like, there is improvement over time that is very visible. I was like, okay, it's gonna be fucking sick.
Well, that's coming from a Divinity and Larian Studio veteran like Mira. For me, like, I've only played or Divinity 2, and I didn't even finish that game, but I did thoroughly enjoy that. Baldur's Gate 3, quite frankly, initially I'm like, I don't think this is gonna be a game for me, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna like do really fucking well. And lo and behold,
Yep.
this Australian bunny just had to stream it while I was idling, and I'm like, huh, it looks really good. Like, it actually looks really good. So I caved in, and here I am. Hundreds of hours invested in the game already, and I'm only in my second playthrough. This is fucking crazy.
Yep.
Like, I get now why one of my friends could not shut up about Baldur's Gate 3 leading up to its release. Like, she would not shut up about it at all. Like, damn. Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, Mira, you disappeared on my end.
What? Oh
Yeah.
no. You disappeared on my end. Did the thing end? Hang on. Oh, good. Connection to Steam server failed?
Okay, hang on. Let me
join the thing again.
Yeah. Join the collab again. Bunny gone. Yeah, Bunny gone. But it's okay. There we go.
Okay, I joined. I don't know why. Does it have a timeout?
I don't know.
Okay, well, we're back.
Hang on, I need to fix the... Okay, that's good. Alright, we got it. Alright, anyway. So yeah, like... I really do understand now why Baldur's Gate 3 is getting all the praise, and yep, I have to say, I still think that Tears of the Kingdom will win Game of the Year this year, but I absolutely want Baldur's Gate 3 to win. Cause look, you hear nothing but praise for both games. Absolute, like that is a dead ass fact. Like, everyone is praising Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate 3, but you don't see developers cowering in fear for Tears of the Kingdom, but they are for Baldur's Gate 3. I think that warrants something. Like, in my opinion, Tears of the Kingdom pushes the envelope of how far you can innovate an already great game and established title, right? That's what Tears of the Kingdom does. But Baldur's Gate 3 pushes the envelope of what a game in the modern game industry should be. Jesus Christ, like, Baldur's Gate 3 isn't doing anything too special in the name of like a CRPG or a Baldur's Gate or Larian Studios game. But for a modern game, it is ticking off a lot of boxes of literally everything that a gamer wants in the current era. That not many AAA studios are doing to this level. Like, it's absolutely stupid. And sorry for those who are like, isn't RE4 remake like perfect? No, it's not. They actually added stupid microtransactions to RE4 where you can buy deluxe weapon upgrades. I'm like, you didn't need to. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh.
You didn't need to add this stupid bullshit.
Yeah, that's a shame.
None of the things that you buy outside of the base game of BG3 gives you like a clear-cut advantage. Like, not even the camp supplies or the equipment that the deluxe edition gives you has that much of an impact. Like, you would think like, oh, I'm buying this not for the stuff, but because I want to give the studio more money. I want to give them more money. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much it.
You know that about RE, that you could buy stuff that gave you more weapons.
No, not more weapons. Like, you had to okay. Basically, you could buy a ticket that would expedite all the weapon upgrade farming and pesetas farming to get the exclusive weapon upgrade. It's you didn't do that. You didn't have that in the original RE4. And the funny part is you can get these tickets naturally just by farming for spinels and multiple playthroughs. But I'm like, okay, that adds playtime. That means people will play your game longer. Why do you need to add these tickets as a form of microtransactions though? What the fuck?
Because fuck you, give me money.
Yeah, because fuck you, give me money. Because fuck you, give me money. It's really fucking stupid.
I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. I also never played Breath of the Wild either. So I can't say either way if like that's like game of the year or nah. But my husband's been playing it and he loved Tears of the Kingdom. But I can't say. Everyone says it's great. I'm sure it is. I haven't played a Zelda game in a very long time.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. What do you want, what do you want other game devs or games to learn from Baldur's Gate 3? Here we go.
Oh my god, don't put a battle pass in my single player RPG, please.
Yes.
Please. Oh my god. Honestly, if I'm gonna be real, like, I don't think there's a lot of things for them to like quote unquote learn. I think it just all comes down to like execution.
Yep.
And like you were saying before, just put out a game that fucking works, please.
Yeah, it's really all that everyone is asking for, and majority of what people are praising about Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
like, it's a given because of the companions, the dialogue, yada yada yada. But the thing that sticks out is that no battle pass, no de nouveau DRM, it's not online only. I can literally launch the game straight from the folder of the game.
Oh my god. Yeah. Because like I remember like when Cyberpunk came out, and obviously everybody was like really disappointed with that because like CD Projekt kind of like promised the world and didn't deliver on everything, and it was very buggy. But
oh yeah,
to be fair, when I played it back then, I didn't run into anything that was like game breaking in my experience. It's the classic lol, works on my PC, right?
Yeah.
And so like it was fine, but when they were promising like, oh my god, the crowds are going to be dynamic and every NPC is going to be like really blah 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 blah, and then obviously they didn't like deliver on much of it. I would, but like if I'm going to compare like Cyberpunk to BG3, I would say like they kind of were doing like the same thing. It's just that BG3 was like, oh, we actually polished the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's it.
And so it's like, I don't know if like there's much to learn except from like just fucking make a game that works, bro. Don't try to like turn a game that's not designed for it into like some stupid live service.
Oh my god, yeah, thank god.
Like, yeah, I feel like people are just getting a little bit sick of nickel and dimed like on almost every game that they purchase. Like, I don't think it's ever going to go away from like, say, maybe the FPS genre. Like, it's like, especially like free to play stuff. Like, I don't know if you play Apex, but like,
I do play Apex.
That's how they make money. I'm not going to say nothing. And then like,
why do you think they're not making Titanfall 3?
Oh, shit. And then if you play Call of Duty, like I had a Call of Duty like moment this year for like a few months. I was like playing it. I did purchase like 2 of the season passes because I was like obsessed, and then I was like, okay, I'm over it now. But also, freaking, they lied about Call of Duty Modern Warfare because they were like, oh, we're gonna like when they brought out Modern Warfare, like the remake. Oh no, Modern Warfare 2, sorry. They were like, oh, MW2, we're gonna like support it for 2 years. There's not gonna be another. No, they're not. Yeah, they were like, MW3 is not coming out next year, and now it's coming out this year. I'm like, what happened, bro? So that was a fucking lie, like literally. They
also said that it's basically an expansion, a $60 expansion, a full-priced expansion. I'm like, what?
Look, I'm probably gonna buy it because I like Call of Duty, but for
Yeah.
fuck's sake.
God damn. Just when we thought game
yeah.
devs will learn from Cyberpunk, I mean, that's the thing, Unagi. Like, people should learn from the failure of Cyberpunk, but also people should learn from the success of Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my god, it's.
And yet we continue to come across games that are released unfinished. Yeah, you would know about that, Unagi. Wink, wink. Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
I was watching a Asmongold video, and he was talking about how like saying the word feature complete is like a something from the past. Like we don't hear about that shit anymore. Like every game comes out, it's fucking broken. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, and that's why a lot of people are praising Baldur's Gate 3, because whatever bugs we've encountered, they're so small, and at worst they are funny. That's it. The game runs smoothly.
Actually, oh my god, we ran into a bug yesterday on my stream in a very, very, very late game battle, so I won't say what it was.
Okay.
But literally, I'm fighting the boss, right? And then the mob just despawned out of the game. Poof. And then I get a journal entry that says, congratulations, you won or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Where did he go? And I rewatched my VOD and literally disappeared. Nothing. Like,
wow.
And so we had to F8 moment, reload, because his whole body disappeared. So if I had just kept going, I wouldn't have got his awesome loot, which has like the best sword in the game on him.
Okay, I'll figure that out when I do go to the House of Hope.
No, it's not that one.
Oh, okay.
It's the other one.
Okay,
But anyway,
okay.
But anyway, he just like fucking despawned, and I was like, what the hell?
Like, yeah, it's like, boop, gone.
Yeah, it's very funny.
Many of the problems with Cyberpunk and successes with BG3 come from the same place, Game Dev Crunch. I mean, yeah, Larian Studios did say, like, even now, actually, they did say they have a roadmap, but they are not making that roadmap public because they do not want to set expectations and pressure devs. Like, for example, oh yeah, first update will be September 2023. But oh, what if, you know, they run into issues or like, we gotta move this to like October? They can, because they didn't promise us that the first big update will be on September. Like,
Yeah,
on one end, I do want, that would be great 1 month after we get a big update, but hey, it better be done right. It better be proper, right? So it's good on the devs at Larian Studios. It's like, no. We have a roadmap, but it's not like a set in stone kind of roadmap where we set expectations. We don't want to set expectations we can't reach, but we can at least tell them that we do have a roadmap. We are cooking. Like, someone did say, I'm pretty sure you saw that tweet, let me recustomize my character mid-game. Yeah. And then Larian Studios replies with, we're cooking. I'm like, what? Okay, yeah, awesome. Good.
Oh my god. I think the one thing that like really fucked up CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk is like, they announced the date, right? And then they were like, actually, Twitter letter apology, yellow background, we need to push the date out.
Yeah.
And then they were like, actually, again, Twitter apology, yellow background, we need to push the date again. And then the third time, everybody was like, I'm fucking pissed off. Like, just put the game out. And then I think like them internally at the marketing were like, fuck, we can't like delay it again. Like, we're gonna get roasted, bro. So they just put it out, and it was like really bad. I feel like they should have just been like, you know what? The first time we pushed it, they should have just said, we'll like leave it.
Leave
like,
it.
It needed, like, Cyberpunk needed another 2 years in the oven, bro. Like,
at least a year, at best 2 or 1.5.
They should have just been like, nope, it's cancelled. We'll tell you when later. They shouldn't have promised like another 2 dates.
Yep. The problem with those failures is that they still made bank, therefore the devs can continue to fail upward because people won't boycott. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, people complain about how games are very buggy on release, like, and whatnot. But we're not completely to blame as the consumers, but we are partially to blame. I mean, look at Pokemon Scarlet Violet. even
Oh
with the
my God.
reviews,
No, you're gonna piss off all the Pokemon people.
I am one of those people, so I speak for the people as well. Look, Pokemon Sword and Shield wasn't perfect, but at least that game could run. Even with all the like big cities open world part, at least that game ran. Like, with Scarlet Violet, I was appalled by the quality, the bugs.
Dude,
And it's the
5
fastest
student.
selling Pokemon. It's the fastest selling Pokemon game to date. I'm like,
Oh my
it is a monetary success, but it is an experiential failure. Like,
Oh my God.
oh my God, you know why? This sends a bad message. That is why I'm pissed. It sends a message to Game Freak that as long as it has the Pokemon label on it, we can release a game as dog shit as Scarlet and Violet. And then we can just fix it later. That's the problem. As Slack Happy mentioned, fix it later. No, it's not. You see, that mentality is both a blessing and a curse. Because be glad you can fix a game later, but don't be complacent that, hey, if it releases with bugs, at least we can fix it later. No, that's not supposed to be your mentality. You should, again, like, I'm gonna take a note from Miyamoto's book. A delayed game will eventually be good, but a bad game will always be bad. I'm like, exactly my point. Like, come on.
I was very surprised that because Pokemon is essentially at this point first party Nintendo.
It is
not
first party
Mario,
Nintendo.
right? So I'm surprised that Nintendo was like,
yeah,
you can
ship
put that
it.
out.
Like,
I'm like, what
Jesus
the fuck?
Christ.
If the next one comes out and it's absolute dog water, I'd be like, fuck.
I'm not surprised, but again, like, here's the thing. Inquiry Valerian did point out something really good. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 had years of public playtesting that you guys paid for, by the way. And then, not only did it release really fucking well, the release date was pushed forward. It released earlier than intended. They delayed it, and then they're like, actually, this is really good. We can release it a week earlier on PC. So holy shit, there you go.
It wasn't a week, it was a month, and I'm pretty sure that was not to not compete with Starfield. Because Starfield set their fucking release date literally the day after. I'm not joking. And I was like, okay.
I'd put money on Starfield being a broken, buggy mess, and Bethesda's just gonna shrug it as usual and fix it later. And, you know, as someone who has been a big fan of Bethesda games, Zach, I do agree with you on that point. But here's the thing, though. I did pre-order. Don't smite me. I did pre-order. But
Wait,
do
don't
note,
you have Game Pass?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay.
Okay, look, I pre-ordered a game, but here's the thing. I did not buy Fallout 76, thankfully. I know what Bethesda is capable of. I have played just about all of their games, so I know what they're capable of. So if they're going to fool me again, this will be arguably the first time they will fool me, because again, we have not heard from Starfield for a long time until that really long ass video.
Yes.
From that, then, and again, it did give me a lot of hope.
So okay, we watched that on my stream with my chat, and I was watching it and I was like, okay, everything they're saying sounds really fucking good, but there was some things they were saying there's over 1,000 planets, and I was like,
where have I heard that before?
And I was like, okay, but how many of these 1,000 planets are handcrafted? Probably 20 of them. You know, the rest are probably going to be AI procedurally generated, whatever the fuck. And there might be a boss, a mob boss base that you go kill some people and you bugger off, right?
Yeah, but we'll see how they learned. But we'll see.
And they're talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, bro, I know Microsoft bought you, but how many people did you have working on this shit? Did you have 2,000 people on the game? Because how the fuck are you gonna do this? I don't know.
I will see, because this is again, I'm pretty sure Pokemon fans were severely disappointed and malding with Scarlet Violet, that is their like potentially final nail in the coffin. This will be mine. If Starfield releases and all of the red flags that people are rightfully being skeptical about is true, then this is the final nail in the coffin for me. Like personally, because we have not heard at all about Elder Scrolls 6. The only thing we hear Elder Scrolls is literally
yeah, they're like,
it's just Elder Scrolls Online. That's all I'm hearing about. I'm like, God fucking damn it, guys. Do you realize that you are a single player studio? Come on.
Well,
it
just
works.
like really good nowadays.
These planets have 16 times the detail with new landscaping, technology, 4 times the size of fall. Dude, I get it, but I swear to God, if you... again, here's the thing though, Zach. Like, they did say that this is their least buggy Bethesda game. They better be fucking right, alright? Again, Slack, I do... If you are there to tell me I told you so, I'm not even gonna be surprised. But I do hope you and I are proven wrong. I really do hope, because again, Bethesda games are really special. I mean, Skyrim did it. In my opinion, Skyrim is not their best title. Yeah, smite me. I don't care. It's my opinion. I don't think Skyrim is their best title, but Skyrim is arguably their most important title because it did set a precedent of open world adventure games, whether people like it or not.
I remember, like, back in the day when Skyrim had just come out, everybody was losing their mind over something that now I think is like pretty standard in like RPGs and stuff, which is like where you're walking around in the wilderness and someone approaches you, and the way that they showed it was like the dog comes up to you and like has a quest for you. And everybody was losing their mind back then about that, and I was like, that's so cool. But now, like, that just happens in like almost every game.
Yeah, it's pretty much standard. Yeah, Adir, I don't have my Twitch integrated throwing system on for Shrine Talk. Hang on, let me just refund you for that. Give me a moment. But yeah, I was just psyched, okay? I was just really hyped for this game. I know it's not like, but Inori, it's a Bethesda game. I'm like, you know what? Fair, absolutely fair. But I have my own personal gripes because like I am not doing this for Pokemon. Like I'm not pre-ordering, pre-purchasing the next Pokemon game after Scarlet Violet. Definitely not. Like absolutely not. That was my final name in the coffin for Pokemon. But this Starfield, I swear to God, if they fumble this, especially after the success of Baldur's Gate 3, yeah, final nail in the coffin for that title.
I think if Starfield comes out and it's absolutely trash or it's really buggy,
I really hope it's not, but yeah,
Microsoft is gonna have to start cracking the whip on the studios they own, because like they've had so many like dog water releases that was supposed to be like selling Game Pass to people, like Redfall, and like so many of them have come out and just been crap on release and like gotten like blasted online. It's gonna be like, ooh, what the hell is happening at Microsoft land that everything's coming out and it's crap.
I do understand that, Slack. No need to apologize, dear. It's fine. But yeah, Slack, I do agree because I do love Bethesda games. Okay, I really do love Bethesda games. Like, I have spent hundreds, if not thousands, of hours across Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, 4, Oblivion, Morrowind, Skyrim. Like, I really do love those games because I really think that if Bethesda actually legitimately cares, they can make banger of titles. And honestly, after 76, they cannot afford to fuck this up. And especially with like Redfall, especially with Redfall, they cannot afford to screw up Starfield. Like they just really can't. And again, like I'm not discrediting or going against people who say I can't trust Todd Howard. No, I can't blame you. I completely understand. I mean, you cannot trust Todd Howard as much as I cannot trust Game Freak with any mainline Pokemon title anymore. I literally can't. Like, I quite physically can't after how bad. Not because Scarlet Violet is bad, but because how bad it was. How bad it was. And again, CD Projekt Red had to go through lengths to fix Cyberpunk because after all the goodwill they built with the Witcher series, that almost didn't matter because of how bad Cyberpunk was. So imagine that. Yeah. Imagine that situation. It's practically the same with Starfield. Like, all that goodwill will fall out the Elder Scrolls series and then ruined by Fallout 76. I don't think they can afford to make another fuck up like 76 with Starfield. So yeah, I really hope they don't.
I don't think CD Projekt is at like the same level of like, no, fuck 'em, like attitude that people have to maybe Bethesda, because like I know people didn't like 76. I didn't even play it because it wasn't my type of game, but it was like bugged to fuck. But then before 76, like there was Fallout 4, and that wasn't received particularly well either when it came out. Like,
I did enjoy
some
it.
people liked it, some people didn't like it. Like me personally, I played it, but I never finished it just because like
Fallout, it was a mixed bag.
Really, yeah, like it was a mixed bag. Like Fallout for me isn't really my thing. Like I like the idea of like, oh, it's post-apocalyptic 1950s, but it only goes so far for me. Like they didn't really have a lot of stuff that like pulled a lot of my interest. But it was like a mixed bag. So they went from like a mixed bag to like a fuck up. And then so now it's like, okay, like don't fuck up the next one. I think for CD Projekt, they kind of went from like banger, 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 fuck.
Yeah. But if there's anything I can promise to Inquiry and Slack in particular, when Starfield does come out, and I do have early access, you guys will hear my honest, unfiltered, unbiased opinion. Because, like, again, I am not a Bethesda fanboy. If there is one, if there is a fanboy title, I'll give myself, it's probably for Fire Emblem and Final Fantasy 14. I mean, definitely Final Fantasy 14 because I remembered the freaking spiel.
Oh, yes.
I remember the goddamn spiel. So yeah, Foxtrots and Mira's viewers, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV that comes with a free trial up to level 70? That includes the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award-winning expansion Heavensward and Stormblood with no time restrictions. I memorized the damn thing. Okay, I memorized the damn thing.
14 is the only MMO that I play right now.
Yeah. So yeah, like, I still, and here's the thing, I'm not completely heartless. It's not like I don't care about Game Freak and Pokemon anymore. No. I still want, again, Pokemon is still a beloved franchise for me. I want them to bounce back after Scarlet Violet. But they shouldn't expect people like me to actually just buy it pre-purchase after what they did. All right, they can't expect that. They have to actually work for that trust. And I'm treating Bethesda the same way. Like, if Starfield flops, like, yeah, if they even announce Elder Scrolls 6, I'm not pre-purchasing that shit. I won't be. Like, I'm gonna actually wait for post-release because, like, I did this shit with Baldur's Gate 3 and Baldur's Gate 3 was practically flawless on release. So I'm like, okay, so I can trust Larian Studios to do their job. Now, so far, I have not... the thing is, like, I did not play Fallout 76, so I am not in the same group of people who, like, yeah, they treat Bethesda like... No. They're treating Bethesda like most Pokemon fans are treating Game Freak right now. So I cannot honestly be in the same mindset. I understand, but I can't be in the complete mindset. So yeah, I will be your guinea pig, Slack, for when Starfield releases, I guess. Okay. For me personally, like I said, just to wrap up this question, like, again, if there's anything that other devs should learn from Baldur's Gate 3, forget the the complex dialogue choices, whatever, the battle system, the music, Baldur's Gate as in the city. No. Just release a fun game that works on release, that does not have like a battle pass or microtransactions, and I better not see an apology paragraph on Twitter after that. So please, like, please just don't. Please, for the love of God, don't. All right. Just a follow-up question to that. Do you honestly think that other game developers can pull off what Baldur's Gate 3 did? Or are
yeah,
you?
I think they can. I think like an example. Now everybody loves to shit on EA because
Yeah.
obviously like they put out like the sports games that are like stupid and
Yeah.
full of like microtransactions every year, but people are dumb and they keep buying them. But it's like, you know what, EA? If you want to make those games like toxic garbage, but you know, put out stuff like Jedi Survivor that doesn't really have any of it in it, that's fine with me. Keep it over there.
Yeah. Like, as much as I hate the sports games because of how obviously monetized those games are, like, hey, if that means you won't have that crap in single player games, you know what? Go ahead, keep doing it because people keep buying those games anyway. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think like EA Studios, like BioWare could definitely do it. You know, my most favorite game, Dragon Age Inquisition, is basically a BG3 experience, just, you know, different combat and stuff. So I don't think it's impossible. It's just like, I feel like for a lot of other studios though, like Blizzard, there's just like a priority shift that needs to be made.
It is a big priority shift.
Because I remember like back in the day, everybody was shitting on EA because they kept trying to put like, you know, these live service things into their single player RPGs, and it was just like really garbage. And now they have slowly realized like, if you just like make a good game, people will buy it and they'll play it. Okay.
Now, if there's yeah, go ahead.
So I was gonna say, like, I think that might be the way to do it. I feel like big like studios, or like, I mean, EA is a publisher, but I think what may happen in the future is like they'll have a few games that they monetize the crap out of, make all their money, and then they'll make like some good games on the side.
Well, for me, I do believe that devs can. I mean, if there are titles that I'm definitely on the same camp of, like, just generally people not trusting Bethesda for Starfield, for one, Ubisoft. I have practically given up on Ubisoft for just about every major title they have. For Far Cry, I have given up. Assassin's Creed, I have definitely given up.
Really?
I absolutely have, because I am just sick and tired of like, I'm not saying that Odyssey was bad or Origins was bad or even Valhalla was bad, because I know a lot of people that really love that game and enjoy it and they think it's like a 9 or 10 out of 10. I played it and I think otherwise.
Odyssey. But like, I was gonna say, the thing about the newer Assassin's Creed games is like, Odyssey wasn't really an Assassin's Creed game. It was kind of like, oh, we're just playing like a fantasy Greek story
set in the Assassin's Creed universe. Yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. And I was just basically like turned off so hard when they said that, yeah, Assassin's Creed moving forward is not going to be a stealth title anymore. I'm like, what? Huh? Aren't assassins working from the shadows? So what is this bullshit? I mean, God fucking damn it. So again, I'm not defending Bethesda. I'm just like, it's not like Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be in space. See, if they wanted to make a space game, Okay, Starfield. If Ubisoft wanted to make a Greek story game that isn't stealthy, they should just make that instead of putting it in the Assassin's Creed universe where it doesn't. But again, at that point, I'm practically nitpicking. But I still think that if there's one Ubisoft title that I am excited for, one, I'm not even gonna buy it. The other one, I am most likely gonna buy it because again, I'm still skeptical. They did, like, Ubisoft is releasing an Avatar game this December. Now, again, I'm not a super mega Avatar fan, but I cannot lie.
Do you mean Avatar Blue People or Avatar The Last Airbender?
No, Avatar Blue People.
Oh, okay. Go
on. They are releasing an Avatar game this December, and it's not from the same people that have been making the Assassin's Creed games. So I'm like, okay, hopefully they can restore Ubisoft's name, right? And of course, the Star Wars game, Star Wars Outlaws, like, they did show a demo, and again, even when the demo is hella hype, a modicum of skepticism should still be like, if you feel a bit of skepticism, try to understand that skepticism. And yeah, like, it can't be that flawless. It can't be that perfect. So, but again, only time will tell. So I'm still holding out for the best. And just to sidetrack a bit, I'll address your question later, Happy, Slack. So yeah. Moving on though with like Baldur's Gate 3, I really do think developers are capable of just releasing working games working games without battle passes or MTXs, because I mean, the ones who are doing it are indie game developers nowadays. Like, they're the only ones who are like, yeah, we with what little budget we have, like, we know that microtransactions and battle passes are a major turnoff. Only a triple A studio has the risk or the budget to do something like that. Sure, we won't hit back as large as, say, COD or Fortnite or Apex, but hey, like, we're just releasing a game that isn't a live service. It's just a game that people will have fun with. And again, I am not saying that a game as a live service can't be fun. No, the priority should be that the game is fun to play. And then, if you want to monetize it, make sure it's fun. Because it sucks when you prioritize the monetization and the live service when the game itself is not fun. Yes, Destiny, I'm looking at you right now.
Oh my god, I never like got into Destiny, and I'm so glad that I didn't, because I've seen some stuff about what's happening in Destiny like nowadays in Destiny 2.
Like, it's sad
and
because
I'm like,
I played Destiny 2 for a while and like, this game is hella fun, but it's very clear that they're prioritizing the live service over the fun of the game. God, it's just so fucking sad, man.
Yeah,
it's just really depressing.
Great.
So yeah, game devs, if you want to make a game as successful as Baldur's Gate 3, the formula is not that difficult, okay? It's not that difficult. Prioritize fun over the money, please. Because that is literally what Larian Studios did. Like, they didn't even talk about, there's no season pass or like DLC pass. No, because they didn't prioritize that shit. They prioritize the base game. They'll worry about that shit later. See, that's the thing. They prioritized launching a complete game before they worried about anything else. Now, do I want an expansion for Baldur's Gate 3? Yes, but is Baldur's Gate 3 less of a game without it? No. If you want the definition of a good game, that's the definition of a good game. A good game should not rely on its expansions or DLCs to be complete. It should be complete without it. That's what made Witcher 3 great. That's what makes Baldur's Gate 3 great. That's what made Ghost of Tsushima great. Without the DLCs, there's still really good games. Come on. Divinity 1 and 2 didn't have any DLC. Yeah, they didn't even have DLC and they still felt complete. Now again, I would love, would you like a DLC expansion for Baldur's Gate 3, Mira?
I mean, I would love if they did an expansion, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think they will because they
Oh yeah.
Larian has not put out an expansion for any
Yeah,
game they've
they,
ever
they
made.
haven't. I don't think it's in their DNA to do that. But
But it would be
like,
cool
I
if they
trust
did.
them to. See, that's the thing. You have to build that trust, right? You have to build that trust that your game will do well, so that people will actually spend more money. But again, like, Valarian Studios just values trust so much that we have no clue if they will release an expansion. And most likely they won't because they never have. But hey, if they want to, at least people now have absolute trust. They're like, yeah, give me more of that shit. Like, we'll see. We'll fucking see.
It would be interesting if they did, because like back in like the D&D games of old, like I don't know if you ever played Neverwinter Nights, but like Neverwinter Nights came out. It was like its own game, and then they had 2 expansions, which like expanded like the class list and the race list, in those games. So that would be very cool if they did that, but I don't know if they will.
Well, we'll really have to see where they go with that. But again, like, Larian Studios just has such a good player foundation right now. Like, I think people will just are ready to die on a hill defending Baldur's Gate 3. I know I am, because hey, I trust Larian Studios, man. I just fucking do.
I honestly don't even know. Like, I don't know if this is like a thing, but like, do you feel like there's any like sentiment in the community where like people are almost playing it as like a protest?
Yes. Like, if there is one big name I know that earlier last week or earlier the month, Asmongold did say that he's gonna buy the game despite no plans to play it, just as a middle finger. Like, no, the reason why I'm buying this game is just as a middle finger to set a precedent. Like, this is not my kind of game, but this is the kind of game that all games should be. No microtransactions, no DRM, no battle pass, not a live service, complete and nearly bug-free, but basically performance-wise, it's pristine on release day 1. That's the kind of game that everyone is asking for. Simple as that. It's that simple. All right. Penultimate. Oh wait, no, not penultimate. Bleh, not penultimate question, but a very important question. What complaints do you have so far about Baldur's Gate 3? Ah, yes.
I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like, not that many.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be real honest.
Same here, but I do have some complaints.
Alright, you tell me yours.
Okay. Okay, although this complaint will potentially be addressed, I do not like the fact that, again, it's quite nitpicky in nature too, but I do not like the fact that I cannot change like even some details of my character mid-game. But like, for, again, I don't want to spoil it, but like, there are some companions that look different eventually. I'm like, I can't do the same. Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Like, again, it's for immersion's sake too. It's for the experience. Like, changing your looks is not really gonna affect the game in general, but I'd like the option to. I'd like the option to.
I want them to put in a glamour system.
Same glamour system. It would be funny if like your mage was walking around with a fucking, is that a scale mail plus 2? It's just glamored on, buddy.
What she is walking around in. I'm not even gonna lie.
Another complaint I do have also, sometimes because of how the world is built, like, again, this was just one experience, but it did stick out for me. So in that barn where you find the bugbear and the bugbear and the ogre. Okay, I'm just gonna call it the bugbear and the ogre. So after that, there's like a book on the cupboard on the right, and I'm like, when I hold Alt, right? When I hold Alt, it highlights it, like, oh, there's a book there. When I try to mouse over it to read it, because I don't want to pick it up and then drop it, because I'm not letting that shit take inventory space, I just wanted to right click it and read it, but for some reason my mouse cursor was just cupboard. No, not the cupboard. The book that's sticking out of the cupboard. Cupboard. No, the book that's sticking out of the cupboard. Cupboard. For fuck's sake, it's sticking out. So yeah, sometimes the mouse cursor can be very finicky. It doesn't happen all the time, but my god, when it does, it sticks out like a sore thumb. So it could use a little bit of a bug fix. So yeah, that's one of my complaints. Another one, this is a personal thing too. See, that's what I like about my complaints. They're not major complaints. It's not like my save got corrupted or blah blah blah. No. The game is gorgeous. The battle effects are also gorgeous. But there is no in-game photo mode to take really good screenshots. I have to use a mod to do that. But my god, it would be so great if it was built in, because it's just funny being able to pause the game when, say, Karlach picks up a knoll and then hits another knoll with the knoll she just picked up. Like, I'd love to pause the game, take a screenshot of that shit, because that shit is hilarious. When the game is that gorgeous. And I guess another game problem I do have that I think is easily addressed with the quality of life change. Can I rename the sacks of stuff I pick up? Because I'd like to be able to pick up sacks, and then in this sack I have poisons. In this sack I have potions. In this sack I have dyes. Can I please be able to rename my sacks so that I know which ones have which items? Like, that would be great. That would be generally just a really nice quality of life change, in my opinion.
I thought you could do that, but I just googled it. Turns out you can't.
Yeah, you can't. And another thing, I want to be able to replace party members a lot easier, please. I don't, again, kind of nitpicky. Like, if I want to add, say, Lae'zel to the party and replace Karlach, like, I don't want to have to talk to Karlach. Hey, can you stay in camp? Can you stay in camp? Okay, stay in camp. Okay, Lae'zel, you can join now. No, come on. Like, I don't, it doesn't have to be like hyper interactive, you know? Like, you don't need, like, say, Lae'zel telling Karlach like a unique interaction when they replace each other in the party. No, I don't need that. They can literally have the same dialogue, or they can just cut off the Karlach saying her dialogue when she's put in camp, and then cut back to Lae'zel joining your party. Like, that's it. It's a tiny change, but it can make such a very nice big difference, in my opinion. So yeah, those are my major complaints about the game. And again, they're not even that major. That's the best part. They can easily be fixed. Even just make it so you don't have to dismiss a companion twice would be nice. Yes, please, for the love of God. Again, a lot of these complaints are easily fixable, and they're not major problems or major complaints. So how about you, Mira?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is, like, I just want a glamour system. That's it.
Glamour system, yeah.
Like, okay, in my stream the other day, I was like, oh my god, we can get this, like, cute guy's hat, but if it's not like a magic hat. So it's like, well, I don't want to take off my helmet because it's giving me all these bonuses, but I want to wear the cute hat. I went through all this effort to get it.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that. Or, you know, like, if you're, again, this is just a personal preference kind of thing, but let's say you're multi-classing both a bard and a rogue, but let's say your character is more bard than rogue, or sorry, more rogue than bard, but you do want your equipment though is a mix, right? Like, maybe you have the bard hat that gives +4 bonus health whenever you bard inspiration a character. But that doesn't look so good on a rogue kind of archetype, right? Like, wait a minute. You're wearing the spider silk armor, but you have a bard hat on you? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. So, it would be nice if, like, you can hide the hat. Yeah, sure. But, I mean, even if that were the case, there's some parts you cannot hide. So let's say you don't really, you just like the stealth bonus on the armor, but you like the bard-like effects on, say, your boots or your gloves. But they don't exactly look roguelike, do they?
Yeah.
So yeah, like it would be nice, like as you said, a glamour system where you can hide some armor pieces. Like, please, I mean, it's already modeled in the game, or replace some of it, you know? Like that would be really great. So yeah, if you're more bard than rogue, but you do like the spider silk armor, you can replace that with a bard outfit. That would be great. Like, again, that would be so much, that would be better. Yeah, it's an option.
You can just, you know, wear your full plate, but make it look like the Wave Master's robes, you know.
Yes, the wave mother robe. My God. And the best part, you freaking dyed it near to Astarion's skin color.
I didn't do that. That was someone else.
Oh, someone else. Yeah, someone else.
I put on the beige dye, and my chat was like, "There's no point in him wearing it if it looks like skin." I'm like, okay.
No, that's the point. That's the whole. That's the bit. That's the bit. That's the bit.
Oh my God.
All right. Another. Okay. Next question. This is the penultimate question. What are your thoughts on saves coming? And Baldur's Gate 3. Do it all the time.
Yeah. Saves come for the win.
Saves come for the win. And my reply to that is just the same thing that Doom said to that person who's like, "Can you please remove the flamethrower?" Then Doom replied with, "You have control over the buttons you press." Simple as that. You have control over the buttons you press. Do you feel that the RNG was bullshit? And you're like, you know what?
Oh my God.
That dice roll doesn't rest well with me. F8. You know what? Okay. And then let's say that you got a critical fail and then the result was funnier than you expected. You know what? I'll take the L there. This is okay. It's a video game. I get that there are like restrictions that are in place so that players experience the game as intended, but when you take player option away when a player like realistically say, yeah, I should be able to save scum. Okay, that's fine. Because again, it all comes down to player choice. You want to direct, like in my opinion, I do understand that when someone directs or develops a game, they want players to experience it in a certain way. But here's the thing. You should direct a player to want to do that, but if they want to do it in a different way, you should not stop them. Okay? You should not stop them. I mean, Metal Gear Solid has done this for years. It's a stealth game, but can you go guns blazing? Yes, you can. Even before Metal Gear Solid 5, you can. Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, you can. It's not the best way to do it. If anything, that is the game's secret hard mode, going guns blazing in a stealth game, but the game is not going to stop you. And funny thing is, you get even funny interactions over the codec if you do. So again, see, that's just good game design. So, if the game is designed to like, no, consequences of your actions. Okay, sure, I get it. But in a game where there are multiple endings and whatnot, I want to see, there are some people who are like, I want to see all of them. And I'm trying to get it. But the dice rolls are just like, nope, you're getting this ending now. And I'm like, this is a video game though. I should have control over it. That's why it's a video game. It's not a movie. Because in a movie, you have no movie, TV show, whatever. You have no control over how that movie or TV show ends. But in a video game, generally, you favor control over the final ending of the game to some extent, especially when it's like story driven. But in a game like Dragon Age, KOTOR, Mass Effect, Baldur's Gate, Divinity, your actions can affect how the game ends, and that includes saves coming. That is totally freaking fine in my opinion. So yeah, my thoughts on saves coming, it's basically summed up in that quote. You have controls over the buttons you push. That's it. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend it, at least for the first time. But if you want to, hey, go ahead. That's fine. I totally get it. Like, you want to fix a problem that was out of your, out of your control. Like, hey, like, I literally, like, I casted guidance. I used luck. I have expertise and proficiency in this. I have a very high ability stat, so I get +7 or +6, and I still failed the roll. Like, what the fuck? Come on. So yeah, I completely get that. Saves come in that instance. That's totally fine. Like,
I just save scum whenever the hell I want. I'm like, look,
yeah,
man,
whenever you want, that's totally fine. So yeah,
it's like, this is my game. I want my experience. I don't give a shit.
people who try to vilify certain playstyles just want to please others' enjoyment. I mean, it's the same mentality of people who try to backseat people who play a fighting game. Like, you're losing because you're not doing this, you're not doing that. Bro, let me. If this is how I will learn, I will learn. If I want your help, I will ask for it. So don't stop talking to me as if I need your help. No, you could use the help, but if you don't want it, okay, go ahead. I don't want to get in your way of, playing the game the way you want. Like, as someone who is a fan of stealth games, and I really do mean that, like, stealth games are definitely, like, my game, in my opinion. If someone's gonna play Metal Gear or Hitman or whatever, guns blazing, I'm not gonna stop them. Like, okay, they find it fun. Why am I going to try and take that away from people? Right? Why would I try to take that away from people? If someone wants to play Baldur's Gate 3, like, yeah, we're all druids. We're all shape-shifting druids. We're all owl bears now. I'm like, you know what? Go ahead. You want to do that? Yeah, why not? Yeah, I reclassed Gale, Will, and even Shadowheart to be a berserker. Go ahead. I'm not... Even though the game tells you, make a balanced party both for conversations and about, fuck you, I'll play how I want. Four barbarians, all berserkers, who gives a shit, go. No, go ahead. Go ahead. The game allows you to do that. Whatever happens, good or bad, that's on you. That's fine. So honestly, like, come on. Just let people have their fun. So yeah, they want to save scum, go ahead. They don't want to save scum, go ahead. So yeah, when you see someone frustrated and they're like, dude, just save scum. Like, I don't want to save scum though. That's their choice. That's honestly their choice. Like, you can disagree with someone, but you can respect their opinion and their choice on the matter. That's all I'm saying. That's really all I'm saying with that question of save scumming, right? Like, you and I, and I'm gonna say you, I'm not just talking to Mira, but everyone who's watching this. You and I can disagree on a million things, but I will respect whatever you have to say about said thing. Because that's just how, discussions are supposed to work. We may disagree on certain things, but am I going to spit on your face for disagreeing? No, of course not. Like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, you tell me that, like, stealth games are boring. I'm like, no, I can understand why. Because it demands patience and whatnot. So yeah, I totally get that. I think that this game is dog shit. I think it's not. Okay, that's fine. Good for you. If anything, good for you. You don't think this game is dog shit? Damn, good for you.
Oh boy.
But again, like, you still have to understand what the other party has to say. That's the important part. And I say this especially for those who are playing Diablo 4 now. Like, I really feel sorry for you guys.
Oh god.
As like, you thought monetization in EA games were bad. No, this is worse. Like, now, do you know how bad it is, Mira? Like, apparently, if you go to the seasons tab that has the battle pass, do you know where the cursor is set to default?
Is it like on the buy button?
It's on the buy button. And here's the worst part. Here's the worst part. It's single button activation.
Oh, good.
There is no confirmation. You don't hold the button to claim the battle pass. No, you press X or whatever.
What?
Boom. You have the battle pass. That's it. That's it. It's
Bro,
single button confirmation activation.
I wasn't even like complaining about the monetization because I was like, bro, not gonna be playing this. But I'm just like, I don't know if you saw like the big patch that they put out, and they had to go on like the fucking Blizzard apology tour.
I saw
for
that.
It,
I
like,
saw that.
it was just like everything is harder. Everything takes longer. Fuck you. That's the.
I remember somebody made somebody made a parody patch note. Patch note. Yeah, patch note. People were having fun. We fixed that. Oh, bro, what? People were having fun. We fixed that. Bug fix. People were having fun.
Oh my god.
Why?
Yeah, I was gonna
My
make
God. Oh my
I was gonna make like
goodness.
a funny Diablo 4 video because like I found something like hilarious in the game. But then I saw this like tweet that came out being like, yeah, Diablo 4 is like down 80% in like search results across the board. I'm like,
Ouch.
I'm not gonna make a Diablo 4 video.
My God.
I'm like, what the fuck?
All right. Now, final question for this podcast or this talk show, right? So, how do you think Larian Studios should handle Baldur's Gate 3 post-launch?
I mean, I feel like they're already doing like a great job. They're like, hey guys, the game's out. 2 days later, hey guys, hotfix. 2 days later, hotfix. Another one, hotfix. I'm like, excellent. Thank you. Keep doing more of it. And then they're like, hey, you know, we're gonna add XYZ. That's fucking great.
Yeah. I think Baldur's Gate 3 should just continue having faith in what they're doing because they're not doing anything wrong, in my honest opinion. I wish I could sound less biased and less of a fanboy if I had something bad to say about Baldur's Gate 3 or Larian Studios, but it's difficult. You know how insane that is nowadays? Nowadays, it's so difficult to have like to praise something like Diablo or Jedi Fallen Survivor. It's so difficult to praise because of all the bullshit that's in your face. It's the complete opposite with Baldur's Gate 3. It's difficult to find shit to talk about when there's just so many good shit that they're doing.
The worst thing that they did that was like jank was like the last hotfix.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
The worst thing that they did was hotfix 4 because it caused an issue, and when they rolled that back, it caused a bigger issue where people couldn't even load their previous saves because, like, loading an older save on a newer patch, okay, because it's part of like coded, like, oh yeah, that patch did exist. But if you're trying to load a new save on an old patch, game is like, what? That doesn't exist?
Game's like,
yeah, like, so example, 4.11, and you're loading a 4.10 save. Oh, okay, yeah, that's in our database. But for patch 4.11, 4.12, what the fuck is 4.12? The game just doesn't read that shit. Like, I'm not a developer, but I can understand basic, not even coding, I can understand basic logic. A patch that's 4.11 will not understand anything that's coded for 4.12. It just doesn't work that way. So yeah. So they even apologized for it, not just on Twitter, but even on Steam. They actually laid out an apology on Steam. And for people who don't know how bad Steam community boards can be, the Steam community board in RE4 Remake is filled with people who are calling it a woke game.
oh
I will
my
not explain why. It's one of the funniest, worst shit you can ever see. Figure it out Figure it out yourself when you go. I did see that TikTok. Figure it out yourself in the Steam page of Resident Evil 4 Remake. It's actually pretty hilarious and sad at the same time. And yeah, even Mira made a TikTok about it. So yeah, go ahead. But yeah, like I said, that is arguably the worst thing that they've done, and they already fixed it pretty damn fast. And they're very transparent. Like, on Twitter and social media, they are actively, not passively, actively looking at what people have to say about the game, whether it's goofy shit, criticism, complaints, praise. They are looking at it and taking feedback. And when they saw that a lot of people were requesting for stuff in general, they did say that we do have a roadmap. And again, roadmap is a flag. It can be a red flag or a good flag. But when a game has a roadmap nowadays, you're kind of scared because you're like, oh no. But they said they have a roadmap.
Yeah.
They're just not sharing it because they do not want to make promises they're not confident they can keep. And when they mean promises, it's not what's in the roadmap, it's when these stuff will be released. It's the same reason.
Sorry, I was gonna say, because I have like some background in like software development. It's like most of the time in software development, like a roadmap is not a bad thing. But I feel like when it comes to like games and stuff, if making the game work is on the quote unquote roadmap and it's already fucking out, that's when it's a problem.
Yeah. Again, like it's not. Again, a roadmap is like a lot of things in the gaming industry, especially patching stuff. It's both. It can be both a blessing and a curse. Patching stuff, blessing. Yeah, major problem. We can fix that. Roadmap, like, oh yeah, it will keep players invested in the game. Good. Curse. Oh shit, we promised people stuff in this roadmap. We have to take that back. Oh my god, they'll be disappointed. And of course, for the patch end of stuff, like that being a curse. Yeah, this game is littered with literal game-breaking bugs that even speedrunners will not say is a good thing. We'll fix it later. That's what I'm talking about. Like, no, you shouldn't have that kind of mentality when you are making a game. Like, no, don't build a game with the thought that we can just fix it later. No. That's just like straight up cash grab, lazy ass developing, in my opinion. And again, yeah. Whenever this happens, I very rarely blame the developers. I blame the publishers when this happens. Because they're the ones that are pushing this product to release. I mean, a lot of people in CD Projekt Red on the development side were just as pissed as we are. But most of the sentiment initially was towards the developers. Like, they were blaming the developers. Why is the game this poorly polished? It's so fucking bugged. How could you release? Do you really think that they wanted to release a game that unfinished, incomplete, and buggy as hell? But no, because of all the hype generated, because of all the pressure from the publishers, they had to release it in that state. Now again, the fact that Cyberpunk is way up in its concurrent player base and how much sales it's getting till now, that is when I'm like, thank God we can patch games nowadays. But I'm still of the mindset it should have never come to that. That's my general mentality when it comes to making games. Like, if you're developing a game, it should never come to a point where yeah, we can patch this. You shouldn't hope for that, right? Like, you can, it's a safety, but you shouldn't rely on it too much. It's more of a crutch. Patching games, I think, is more of a crutch. Like, don't think of using it, but it's nice to know that it's there. But, you know, don't release a game with that in mind. Like, you want to release a game like Baldur's Gate 3, wink wink, with in mind that no, like it's good. Like, if there are any bugs, they should be very minor, or they should be very specific. Like, you have to dismiss Karlach with a certain weapon, and she is classed as an Oath of the Ancients paladin after you dumped Gale and then romanced Lae'zel, while Lae'zel was a rogue that had her base weapon, the long like it has to be very specific. Oh my god, that confusing and specific for a bug to happen. Like, yeah, there are some funny specific bugs, but it's very difficult to prepare for that very specific bugs for that. That's why in my opinion, if there's a kind of community that knows how to look for these shit, it's a speedrunning community. They know how to look for bugs like that. That's why.
Did you see the 8-minute speedrun?
You what? What?
They use Gale, and basically like, okay, you start at Act 1, you do the Goblin Camp, go through Moonrise, jump down to where the big boss fight happens there, and explode. End game.
Wait, that is a canonical like game ending?
Yeah.
Whoa, that blew my mind. What the fuck? I need to see this. Holy shit.
It's so funny.
Oh wait, right. No, that's correct. Yeah. I remember. Right, because leading up to that, that is an option. That is an option. I didn't know that you're completely blocked out of Act 3 for that, but holy shit. That makes sense. There's also, yeah, there is a sex percent category for Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my god.
There is a sex percent category.
It's fucking great, dude.
The devs were prepared. Yeah, the devs were indeed prepared. It's not cheap like, yeah, if you do the explosion, you destroyed the crown, but not the thing. No. You killed the big bad. The end, roll credits. It's kind of like the meme of like Star Wars. Like, remember in episode 2 where Anakin was talking to Palpatine and Palpatine told him the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? And he's like, how do you learn this power? Not from a Jedi. What if, like, Anakin was like, so what did you learn from this story? Yeah, power absolutely corrupts. Thank you. Wait, Anakin, no. Like, that's it. That's the end of the No More Skywalker Saga, because Anakin learned from Palpatine that absolute power absolutely corrupts. So no. Oh my god, that is so awesome. I just learned that today. Oh my god, that's so awesome. Damn.
It's so funny. It was so good. I was like, what the fuck? All right.
I'm gonna check that later. But yeah. Basically that's the best part of how Baldur's Gate 3 is being handled after Larian Studios. They do not have to work too hard. That's the best part. They haven't told us about plans for expansion, so they don't have to develop for it. They didn't give us a roadmap, even though they did tell us that they have one, so they can properly manage expectations. So it's basically content creators like us who are basically keeping Baldur's Gate 3 relevant till now. We keep talking about this game. We're making, like, I haven't made as many TikToks as Mira has, but I have been making TikTok videos, and some of them are Baldur's Gate 3 as well. So yeah, all of the heavy lifting, I wouldn't say it's on us, but at least Larian Studios isn't doing all the heavy lifting for keeping this game relevant. You know, that's the best outcome you can hope for a game.
It's gone so well.
Yes.
I'm so glad.
And all right, that is it for Shrine Talk episode 36. I've been doing this 36 times already. Thank you again, Mira, for being my guest here and taking the time. Thank you so much. And of course,
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh yeah, I'm of course fellow Baldur's Gate 3 fan. And of course, nonstop Astarion posts on Twitter and on TikTok. All right, so as I always do, I always give the red carpet to my guest. If you have any stream plans or shoutouts you want to make, the red carpet is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm probably going to be streaming Baldur's Gate 3 again today.
Yeah.
We're at endgame. Literally going to go punch the final boss. So if you want to check that out, I'll probably be live in, like, I don't know, an hour or two. So you can come follow me and we'll be playing that. I also have been putting out so much Baldur's Gate 3 content on my TikTok. So you can follow my TikTok. If you want to see the random bullshit that has been happening on my playthrough.
Yes, and of course, for those who haven't followed Mira yet, there's a shout out. Kindly give Mira a follow if you want more funny, really good content.
Thank you.
Check her out on Twitch. All right, as for yours truly, that's it for today. I'll be posting my schedule for next week tomorrow. I will see you all, well, next week. Mira will see the rest of you later. さよなら、おつよこでした。私の配信に来てくれて本当に光栄です。ありがとうございました。Terima kasih untuk datang ke streamnya. Sampai jumpa. We will see you in our respective streams. Bye bye everyone.